Um, Great fight to come back. Give Nebraska a lot of credit. I thought that they had the best player on the court today, went in close. In Bryce, and for the most part, you can't turn it over. I write on the board every game, 10 turnovers or less. You cannot turn it over on the road. We repeatedly made scouting report mistakes tonight that we haven't made. Again, I think they had a 1.5 OER the first half. That's by far and away the highest we've had. They've shot 100 more free throw attempts at home than they have on the road. I thought our defense had a chance early, but we just put them to the line. It's one of the big discrepancies with them home and away is their free throw attempts are through the roof at home and not so much on the road. But they played great. We fought back. Our bench was terrific. I thought Trey White was outstanding with 13 rebounds. Without Tommy, we're really thin up front, and it picks up 2 fouls in 2 minutes. So we had to kind of slough our way through the first half with some really different lineups, but give them credit.
Brad, you got caught in isolation a lot. It's only 7 assists tonight. What'd you make of the amount that your offense went to that, the step back shots, and the results there?
Yeah, it stunk. It's terrible. But that's part of the problem, not having Tommy. And that's one of the things that we've got to get figured out, because I have no idea when we get him back. But they do a good job. There's a reason they've beaten Purdue as much as they've beaten Purdue. They do a great job with their low holds, taking away post-ups. And when we did try to throw it to Merez on rolls, the results weren't great. So we told our team, you really can't throw them there. And it's their defensive scheme. But yeah, and then it's the same thing if you slip your guards, which we've been really good at. And there's a low hold there, and it's just it was just tough sledding, and that's why you take 53s, and we didn't make very many of them.
With the turnovers, they've been kind of mostly unforced.
Oh, absolutely. Tonight, their scouting report. Grow up. I don't know. I mean, I would like to have an explanation. I mean, we had 4 scouting report ones I know, where we told our guys, you're not going to throw the baseline pass, and we continually tried to do that. But I don't know. Tonight was very uncharacteristic of us from a scouting report standpoint, making those turnovers. But yeah, you're not gonna beat anybody doing that.
Brad, can you walk us through the decision to have Ben come back in on that final play of regulation, and instead of Dre seemed to be getting going a little bit?
With what?
With having Ben come in for that last shot versus having Dre remain out there at the end of regulation.
Yeah, he's a gravity guy, and it was about the action we were running. They had 3 fouls to give. It was about setting the screen so they potentially couldn't switch. We have a counter for that. Those situations are really hard when you've got 3 fouls to give. And we probably should have went a little quicker on the first one. And but Will's our hot hand. He got a good look. Shot that he can make. But again, it was had an opportunity we gave ourselves, and just then it was Bryce in overtime.
Brad, you guys have only shot 25% from 3 since Oregon. Is there anything you've seen in the process, the kind of shots you're getting, is there a point that's bothering you?
Not at all. I'm good with it because we got 21 back, and those 21 lead to layups or opportunities, and it's a I don't know, a downtime. It's one thing you can't control. Without Tommy, it's no lie, we're not the greatest post-up team in the world, but you know, we've got to be able to crease the defense with our guards, and we have been. We're one of the top teams in the country with 2-point rate. Tonight we didn't, and didn't do it very well. And that's a tribute to their defense. But I can't get. I mean, some of those were so open that you know, you weren't very good as a player, but you could have made some of those. And that's, believe me, I've heard. So I know how crappy a player you were. But so you could have made some of them.
For turnovers, yeah, I mean, big number, you know, but it seemed like there was always made a turnover in like in just the most ill-timed moment.
Absolutely, 17 points off of them. 17 points off of them. I is that a question or is that a statement?
I mean, just what
do you
did
want
that-
me to say to that?
What did that do? And I mean, just you had some momentum building, and then you cough it up.
What do you think it did?
I mean,
Not made me feel very good. I mean, that's not even a question. You're right. Yeah, we did. I can't help that. I mean, we've had a lot of games we haven't done that. When we're sharp mentally, we don't do that.
Time for 2 more.
Brad, you knew this team was going to be a process. When you envisioned how that would lay out, did you think there would still be this kind of January up and down, or how did you maybe see what that might look like?
Well, I knew we're the youngest team in Power 4, so, or what, I don't even know what we call it anymore. But what is challenging is that we haven't had, so we've had 2 games without Kasparas. We're 3 now without Tommy. Tommy's played sick in 2 of them, and KJ's played 8 minutes in 1 of them. So it's nice when we have our pieces and would like to continue to grow. It is frustrating for me because I know where we can be and what we were getting to. Tonight's frustrating for me because of the mental lapses that we had that we haven't been making, and I don't know when we get whole again. I don't. We'll know more, you know, as we continue to move forward. But you know, Tommy's a big piece of what we do, and Merez was becoming that. We got the #1 defense in the country when those 2 were on the floor together. Well, you put 7-1, 250, and quite arguably our second best shooter, maybe our best shooter now, out of the lineup, and we all know how he can pass. That's we got to get back to that at some point, getting whole again. But can't turn it over and win. You can't miss free throws and win on the road. Not in this league.
Brad, we saw Will off 13 in a row in the second half. Between this and Michigan State, how big of a step forward do you think this can be for him as you guys push into February and beyond?
Well, he's as gifted an offensive player as there is, and I mean, we rode him. I mean, we rode him in the Michigan State game. You know, for the half, it's you know, and he's missed some easy ones. You know, he missed a little offensive rebound putback. But he can really get going, and Juwan Gary's a pretty good defender, and I mean, he made him. You know, he's 6'8", 6'9". He bounced right over him and gets to his spots, and he's a good player. So I hope this keeps his confidence. He got the flu and missed 2 days and a game, or pretty much a game with that. So after the Michigan State game, so it's nice to see him get back and going because you know, we sure need his offense.
Okay, thank you, Coach.